Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Afternoon Market. Welcome to Midday Market Action. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to have you here. Glad to be here. Hopefully, you all had a great weekend. And what a way to start off the week this week. The market's up nicely. If you look at all of our major indices, everything is up today. And a lot of people are asking me in any way, shape, form, or fashion, is this the bottom? Could it be one of the bottoms? Actually, it could be, but we're going to take a deeper look at that as well. What to look for going into the next trading day, especially we need some kind of follow through for the next day. So if you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to when new videos like this or live streams like this come out. Today, we do have another 6 p.m. video. I will be doing the 6 p.m. video today, so make sure you tune in for that. I don't even know what the topic's going to be yet. Got to figure it out. So hopefully it's pertinent to what's going on in the market today. So where you need, Joey? Clear the chat. There we go. It's my mouse. There we go. There we go. All right. So let me know where you're tuning in from. We're going to get into it hot and heavy. I got a lot of stuff. I'm going to do it in a shorter amount of time today. I'm going to try and see how that works out. But I got a lot of stuff to get in. So with that being said, if you like the content, don't forget to hit the like button. If you can take a second right now and hit the share button, share this right now. Share this live stream right now, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Can I get the Facebook chat, Joey? All right, he'll get it to me. All right, so Tanya's tuning in from St. Louis. Eton is here from Israel. Holy guacamole, Oakland. Why is the market up? I think the market is up because the market has built in a 75 basis point rise. I think as long as the market doesn't, or the Fed doesn't go up to a 1 full basis point, I think the market is like, we already understand that inflation is an issue. So I think that's what it's all about. Holy guacamole. Gosh darn it. I wrote that down. Gosh dang it. Tyree. No, that wasn't the one. Anyway, Tyree is here from South Carolina. Mark is here from Brooklyn. That's where I was born and raised from. James is here. Give me a good stock to start up with. You know something? Take a look at Google. Thinking that Google with the split, normally when stocks split, they normally outperform the rest of the market or the rest of the markets in that index. So keep your eye on Google. We'll see how that works out. So other than that, Kobe and Eton are both here from Israel, and that's a good thing. So I'm glad that we have people from all over the world. Hi, Glenn from Wakefield, Rhode Island. Great ocean state. Gotta love that. All right. Joey will let me know when I can get my Facebook chat. But what I'm going to start to do right now is let's get into the stories that I have. All right, we'll do that quick, fast, and hurry. I don't know. I screwed up Joey probably. Let's go into my viewers tab. Let's go see. Now, I did a video this weekend. How many of you watched it? Type a 1 in the chat if you watched the recession video this weekend. All right, type a 1. If you haven't, type a 2. Type of 2. Scotland is here. Chris is here from Scotland. Gotta love that. Oh, were you there for the UK presentation, Chris? Were you there for the UK presentation? I did it. I filled in for the Q&A for David Paul this morning at 8:30. So I see a lot of 1s. I see a few 2s. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm gonna ask that you support the channel. Go check out that video. It's a good video. I think it puts a lot of things into perspective on what a recession is, what are the things that we're looking for. And this was one of the stories or one of the pieces of recession that we haven't gotten to yet, that the job market is still good. Unemployment is still at 3.6%, but I did talk about the number not being representative of the people who have taken themselves out of the job market. That's why jobs still look so good, but when you go to a restaurant, you're still waiting a long time because they're short-staffed. Why you're still short-staffed all over the place? A lot of people have pulled themselves out of the job market. Now, this story says the job market is poised to slow sharply. That's going to be the added puzzle piece to a recession. Once that kicks in, we'll be in a full-blown recession. Now, I've seen a lot of people say we're already in a recession. I don't disagree with that, but all of the full components that make up a recession are not all there yet, and especially on the job side. But this is a story that's coming out saying that it's poised to slow sharply, especially because the raising of the interest rates are going to affect the bottom line of a lot of companies. This is the quarter. This quarter and next quarter are going to be the quarters representative of what the raise in interest rates is going to do, especially if it hurts the downside. And when that happens, people are going to start to cut jobs because it's the easy way to save money. Another story, EU signs a new gas deal as fears grow over Russian supplies cut off. EU is dependent or was dependent on Russian oil to a certain degree. They still are. And, with all of the sanctions, Russia's saying, fine, we're going to turn off your oil or you're going to have to pay us in rubles. So this is going to be a big deal for the EU, and it's probably going to be good for gas. And we're going to look at that as well as far as natural gas. Now, interesting, with all of the inflationary stuff going on, retail sales rose more than expected in June as consumers remain resilient despite inflation. I don't know how much more resilient they can be with the rise in inflation. 9.1% is inflation. And the only way to equal this all out is to get the interest rate and the inflation rate somewhat together. And it's going to take a lot more on the Fed's part to do that. But in the meantime, the American public is going to suffer the consequences of a hawkish dove. But you know something? In order to get inflation down, that's the only tool that they have right now. Besides not buying any more bonds or putting any more money into the economy, the main tool that they have is the raising of the interest rates. So interesting, they rose 1% in June. The numbers are not adjusted for inflation, which rose 1.3 on a monthly basis, indicating the real sales still were slightly negative. Now, the other side of that, too, is going to be what's going on with housing, what's going to go on with GDP. Will we get a third quarter of GDP in the negative, putting us into more of that recessionary state as well? Again, a lot of people already feel that we're already in that recession state. Germany is taking in gas right now. Thank you for that, Jazz. And you know something? I think that that's going to be good for natural gas. I still think that oil is going to rise. And you know why? I'll tell you why in a second. This is why. Crude oil is higher because Biden's Saudi Arabia trip fails to boost output. I'm telling you, and I've been saying this for a minute. That the story on oil hasn't changed. And because it hasn't changed, oil supplies are still low, but the demand is still high. And it pulled back, and that was great. And that was great at the gas pump when pumping up gas. Gas has gone down, but folks, we're still getting into the big, heavy travel months of summer, and people are going to listen. Oil is still going to be a good place to have your money. That is where I feel in that. Let's see. Keith is on Facebook, says from the Gulf Coast. Hamid says Batman is in the house and knows it all. All right, Batman, you go ahead. Where's Robin though? All right. Other side of it, banks reported. How about Bank of America? Revenue tops expectation as lender benefits from higher interest rates. And that was something else that I've said from the beginning when we started raising interest rates, is that banks were going to be the beneficiary. It's taken a minute, though. It's taken a minute for the banks to start to benefit from it, but they will. All right. Higher interest rates means that when banks lend out money, they can charge higher interest rates to pay it back. It's going to put more money in their pockets, but it's going to make it tougher for American companies to borrow money, but that's the goal. All right, when you're taking money out of the economy, you want to make it tougher for people to get money, to pull that money out of the economy to bring the inflation down. But banks and oil, those are my two places to be, banks and oil. John says Fed Governor Glenn was right on the interest rates, and he's right once again on oil. Biden, are you listening? Yeah. Are you listening? Yeah, look at me. Are you listening? All right. Glenn, your show has better content than the CNBC Fast Money halftime report. I've switched. Hoorah. Thank you for that, Jeff. Danny on Facebook says you're getting political. Oh, no. I'm not getting political. That's just the story. The story feeds into why oil prices are going higher. Right? That's all. I didn't get into anything political. I didn't get into policy or anything like that. All right? If I wanted to get political, there was a whole different path I could have taken. All I'm talking about is why oil is going back up again. All right, another thing, mortgages. Mortgage applications dropped to a 22-year low. I actually did another story recently talking about how homeowners or potential homeowners are backing out of deals. They're backing out of deals because of the inflation and the rise in rates. All right, so mortgage rates are going up, interest rates are going up. And you know what else is going up? If you're like me and you rents are going up. And you know, people are willing to raise the rents to price people out of houses or out of apartments to bring in people who are willing to pay the more money for the rent. Now that's interesting because that raising of the rents getting to, you know, for many people, an unattainable level will force them to want to actually consider buying a home. Even with rising mortgage rates, it may be cheaper to pay a mortgage, you know, on a 30-year loan than it is to pay rents nowadays. So I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as well, especially if rates of rents going up astronomically. It may be more cost effective for people to buy homes even at the rising mortgage rates. So at least I want you to keep that in mind. Only news are important as information. Gush Good, I'm thinking that, Ravi, if I'm thinking about oil, that's another whole thing, Kev. That's another whole thing. I'm not calling it gentrification in this perspective because it's going after everybody, not just after one, space of people. So I'm not calling it that. I am definitely calling it that people are willing to, and I don't understand that either. Why are people willing to pay the exorbitant prices for rents with rising inflation? That doesn't make sense. But nonetheless, people are willing to do that. And you know something? Rents will price themselves out of the market when they can't get people to get into those apartments. And then what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to bring the rents back down. So this could be a couple of twofold thing. It could be forcing people to buy homes because it may be cost effective, or they could be pricing themselves out of the market and end up with a lot of empty units. So it could be one of the two. Glenn, you need to whisper when talking to the... Hush up, Hamid. That's not fun. Wait, Glenn, did I hear that right? You are renting? How is that possible? I've rented for all my life. I've owned twice in my life. But I've rented. My wife is browbeating me saying, oh my God, we got to buy a house. She's not wrong. But, it is what it is. Because they don't have insurance, property taxes, or repairs, Glenn says, Jazz. I don't disagree with that. Dr. Vic says home builders will crumble this week as every day this week numbers regarding houses were reported. The numbers are grim. And again, that's why I'm talking about this story and why you need to pay attention to that. Now, Boeing is back in the picture. How about aviation recovery heats up with Boeing order UK-Japan collaboration? Boeing is starting to sell more planes again or getting orders for more planes. It seems like every time this happens and they get the orders, something bad happens. So Boeing is in a love-hate relationship with the market. Yeah, we love it. Oh, we hate you. Oh, we love it. We hate you. So at least Boeing's back in the news again. Something to keep your eye on. And last but not least, because this is big news, Google parent Alphabet starts trading at a split-adjusted price today. All right, so we all knew that the split was coming. It did. 4 for 1. Was it 4 for 1? No, sorry, it was 20 for 1. It was 20 for 1. That was after the bell on Friday. Amazon, Shopify, GameStop have also approved stock splits as well. And the big thing about stock splits is once they split, they tend to do better than when they didn't split. So Google is going to be a stock to keep your eyes on. Amazon was a stock that I bought right after the split, and I should have waited. I'm not in it right now, but I should have waited. I think that it does offer an opportunity for good companies, for really expensive companies, for people to get into at a lower price. So we'll see what happens with that. Ravi, when Gush goes up, drip goes down, and drip goes up, Gush goes down according to the price of crude oil. Hey, VV Nation. Hey, Maria. Nice to have you here. Housing boom in Tennessee, says Danny on Facebook. Now, every time there's a housing issue, some places, at the last housing bubble back in 2007, 2008, North Carolina was still doing well. North Carolina did pretty well throughout all of that time. So it all depends on where people want to go. And I think the places that people still want to go are Florida, Arizona, North Carolina. A lot of the places that people still do want to go are the temperate places where they can go in the winter where it's not cold. I sold Amazon after the split and made $3K. There you go, Jazz. I got Amazon right after the split, and it didn't work out so well. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I need the market to drop badly to 2,800, 28,000 on the Dow. Well, we'll see about that. So these are my stories for today. Let's get into the software. All right, let's get into the software. Let's start with the indices. What's going on today? Low dollar stocks. People are jumping into the IWM today. All right, people are jumping into IWM today. On a good up day, lower dollar stocks is a good place for people to be because they can make a lot more money in a lot shorter time. But the VIX is up as well. Not a ton, still above the value of 20, but it's pulled back. So less volatility in the market, still volatility nonetheless, but pulling back. That's good for markets overall. Less volatility. UVIXY normally goes up when the market goes down, but it's up today. So the market's exhibiting some sense of ambiguity as to what it really, really wants to do. On the surface, it's going up, but behind the scenes, it's not really rocking and rolling. My big news stocks that I talked about from the news, I've got ticker symbols in here. That's last week. Let's go see what my big news did from last week. All right, those are from last week. What did we talk about last week? We talked about Netflix. We talked about the dollar going up because of the rising inflation and the raising of the interest rates. The dollar is getting stronger. Netflix was in the news. Oil was in the news. And Twitter was in the news. Let's quick test all of those. Look at that. Look at that. And look at Twitter. Big move. We talked about it last week in big news. And look at that, up 17%. How many of you ever jump on any of the news stocks that I show? Type a 1. Type a 1 for any of you who ever jump on the news stories that I show in Midday Market. And if you don't, type a 2. It's fine. I'm just trying to get a feel because I want to make sure that I'm continuing to do the things that you need to see in these sessions. It's all about what's going on Midday Market, right? So I want to make sure that I'm bringing to the forefront the things that you like, the things that make sense to you. And if you don't, that's fine. That's fine. It's not a bad thing if you don't. I'm just asking if you do. So from last week's news stories, almost 7% compared to the spiders, up 1. It's not a bad play. Netflix was up over 11%. Twitter was pushing 17%. The other two that lost money, like oil and the dollar didn't go down a lot. I still think that the dollar could be a good play going forward. Let's go look at the news today. And actually, I'm theirs. Do I have Boyle? I've got oil. I'm going to put Boyle for this week, and I'm going to put the dollar again. I'm going to put the dollar again for my stocks for this week for the news. Google, because look at that. The price hasn't changed. Oh, that was last week. That was last week. The price was sitting at $2,300. Well, wait a minute. Oh, because we stream it. Hold on. Let me stream it. Now, there we go. $111 now for a 20-to-1 split. That moves from $2,000 to $100. That's not bad. Mark says, I go all in on some of your stories, says Mark. I'll take that. I'll take that. I am under 18. I just tried to gain as much knowledge as I can about the stock market because when I'm 18, I'm going to start investing. I like that. I like that, Ethan. There's nothing wrong with that. And I love that you're here. I appreciate that you're here. Dollar short, Russian ruble long. Ooh, I'm not going to say the dollar short if the dollar's getting stronger, Dan. I'm not going to say it. So we'll see. I'm keeping my eye on it. Bank of America, because it beat earnings, nice up today. Gas is up today. Gas is still a volatile play, though. It's up one day, down one day, up one day, down one day. So that's going to happen both with UNG and with Boyle. All right. So, but I'm going to keep that in there with the story of the EU importing more gas. I think gas is definitely going to go up. Oil, I still think that the potential for oil stocks is still there. So I'm looking at USO. This is my bearish play, though. This is on builders. This is bullish on builders. I think that I'm looking for this to go down next week. All right, going down into next week. We'll see. There's the dollar. It's getting stronger, but it's down today. And Boeing, nice move on Boeing today as well. I would like for you to go over the stocks last week that I had 10 and 20-day changes. Oh, hold on. We'll take a look at some of those stocks. We're going to look at that today. I like that search. I'm going to get to that when we get to the fastest sectors. I need to really change that now, the fastest industries. All right, so here's my stocks for the big news. Let's take a look at the top four, the ones that are moving up the most. 1, 2, 3, 4, right click. I got to take that off. Right click, view the stock graph. And you know what we like to do on Midday Market. Let's go put this on the quad thingy. Let's go look and see, even though these are all big news, let's go see if any of these are anything worth day trading today. Now, I've got 3 moving averages now. I think I changed my graph a little bit to accommodate both the short-term and the longer-term investor. I'm going to take off the 20-day moving average, the 20-day exponentials. That's for the a little bit of the more of the swing trader. Because I'm looking at day trade scenario, I'm going to take the 20 off. If I'm looking at these, though, what do I like today? What do I like today? Nail, remember, this is the bullish on real estate. I still think that this is going to go down over the week, but it's moving up today, coming off of the highs. Oil jumped up this morning. That was where the money was made. It's sitting in a little bit of a channel right now. There's oil. There's natural gas. Nice move on it. Now that we're talking live, it's pulling back. If you're in it, though, this is what I'd be looking for. I think the stock still has good upside. I've got a level of the gap from this morning sitting at 68.34. If it falls below that, then Boyle or gas has the opportunity to have legs to the downside. And look at that. UNG is doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing, made the majority of his money at the gap up this morning, but neither one of these have faded their gap. But look at them. They're getting close. They're getting close. All right. So out of the main stories this morning or today, I'm watching a couple of these pull back. A lot of these stocks made their money at the open. They all gapped up. How about Nail gapped up, pulled back hard, and now ran and pulling back? All of them have 3 and 8s to the downside. So if oil goes up, do stocks go down? No, I'm not going to say that. Just because oil is a commodity, and just because it goes in one direction or another, it really doesn't pertain to the market specifically. It's not a direct correlation. John says, in regards to your Amazon position, I was looking at the options, and there's some decent premium in the calls, but don't go too far out. As Lee Lowell says, grab the cash. I'm with you on that. Right now, I'm not playing Amazon. I am thinking about getting into Apple. Still love me Apple. Everybody knows that I'm a big fan of Apple. I'm thinking about Apple. I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later if I have an opportunity. All right, earnings this week. How many stocks? I got a lot of stocks have earnings this week. I picked out the most prevalent ones that people know about. There's 34 of them. These are stocks that either reported today or will report this week. Nice moves on a lot of these. I'm going to always sort this list by relative safety to find the stocks that have the higher probability of meeting or exceeding their earnings. You'll see those stocks populate to the top of the list. Tesla's coming out. Chip stock, ASML is coming out. Steel stock, Johnson, Abbott Labs, Netflix, Tractor Supply. A lot of big names that are either reporting today or will report this week. So let's go see what's moving up the most today. Let's go see what's moving up the most today. And because these are all Silvergate, all of these are reporting this week. Let's right-click, view the stock graph. Let's go see if there's anything worth taking today. I like this. Bank Southwest, Silvergate, Look at that move. If I'm going to take a look at buying this today, though, because this is a $70 stock, I'm looking at 12 cents higher than the high. I'd put in an order at 21, 23, 71.23. From a day trade perspective, I like it. But I'd put in an order at a buy stop at 71.23. Let's go look at all four of these on my quad thingy. Wow, look at Snap running. Nice move up this morning, pulled back. I'd really like to see. And it's trading right now at the session highs of the day of 14.44. Because it's below 20, I'd look at 5 cents higher than the high. Netflix, same thing. Look at that. Where's freehand line? Nope. Let's go to horizontal line. A lot of these stocks today from a day trade perspective are trading right at session highs for today. Nucor is right off session highs. Is it time for steel stocks again? But if building is backing down, steel stocks are going to feel the effects of that. So I like Snap, 5 cents higher than the high on the day trade. I like Netflix, 12 cents. This is over $20, 12 cents higher than the high. Nucor is trading right at its highs. I do like the equity curve on SI, but I need this stock to go 12 cents higher than the high. What about chips with Pelosi husband buying? I know they bought into NVIDIA. They still waiting on that vote. That chips law needs to go in. That bill is out there, $52 billion to invest in chip manufacturing in the United States. I've already done a story on that. Folks, for any of you who are not subscribers to the channel, you need to be. A lot of stories about a lot of the things that you're asking about are out there on our site. Between Patrick and I, we do a lot of videos about what's pertinent in the market right now. You guys really need to go check out some of that. But that bill, I thought it was passed. It looks like it was only passed in either the Senate or the House, but it needs to be completed. And they're giving a time frame of about August to get it out there. But I'm all about that. We need to bring manufacturing of chips back to the United States. I've said this on more than one occasion. 20 years ago, we had about 37% of the global chip market. Now we've only got about 12%. We've got to change that. We've definitely got to change that. Paul says, chips bill getting stuff with other spending. And you know, that's politics. Now, Paul, that's politics. In order for somebody to say, I'm going to support that bill, you got to support another bill of mine to build a duck pond in the middle of central somebody. You know, listen, it's for the American people, folks. It really, really is. So you need to sort of sometimes put politics aside and vote for what's good for your constituencies. Dan says the M1 series Apple, that's another reason why I'm feeling Apple right now. That chip is no joke. I'm about to buy another Mac, get a mini Mac Mini for music production outside of being a DJ. And that M1 chip should last for a few years, a good amount of time. That chip is no joke. Would construction companies build semi-factories? Oh, that would be great if they could, which would then Nucor and STLD, those stocks could go up. All right, but you know, how many factories would go up? Is it enough to move them? Is it enough to move them, John? Just think about that, all right? So from that perspective, stocks that are reporting earnings this week, some of them I do like day trade, but I'll keep these stocks in mind. Fastest sectors. All right, so this is that popular surge that you guys like, and I love it as well. Plus, none of this tech stuff can be done without NVIDIA, AMD, and Apple. Again, another video I've done on on the semiconductor chips. Folks, again, a lot of stuff on our YouTube channel. Orange on Facebook says, do you think NVIDIA has more room to run up? You know something? Let's do this real quick. This is outside of what I was going to do. Let's go put in INTC, AAPL, AMD, and NVIDIA. All right, 4 stocks in the space. Let's go bring up the quad daily. Again, I'm a fan of semiconductors. And let's go put all of these on a 6-month graph. Let's go put them. They've been beaten up. But look at that. And for them to be beaten up, what's the first one that catches your attention that you like? Looking at a 6-month graph, the picture's worth 1,000 words. Which one of these, there we go. Which one of these do you like right out of the bat? Which one of these? Type it in the room. Type it in the room, folks. Hips don't, just like Shakira says, hips don't lie. Pictures don't lie, folks. Pictures don't lie. Look at the move on Apple. Look at the move on Apple. Broke through its downtrend. Look at the move on Intel, about to break its downtrend. Look at AMD, nice move, not breaking through its downtrend. And you can clearly see that all of these are exhibiting pushbacks. Apple is the first one to break out and break out nicely. If I'm looking at, the question is, does NVIDIA have room to run? I think right now, who asked me that? Orange, I think all of them have room to run because the demand is high for chips. The supply is an issue, but you know something? They're doing whatever they got to do to get as many chips as they can get out. The chip industry, and that's why I did the video on semiconductors. The chip industry is still a hot place to be, and you can look at 4 of the most prevalent stocks in here. Someone says Intel is the laggard. It is. Kev, it is. But listen, somebody asked me, what's a good stock to look at? I'm thinking about stocks in this space, and I'm personally thinking about picking up Apple. I love that it broke out of its downtrend as opposed to the rest of them yet. And the stock that the Pelosi's are in is NVIDIA. Let's go do this real quick. Freehand line. And it just broke out of its downtrend. So I think all of the stocks in this space are good. NVIDIA just broke out of its downtrend. But I'm a fan of Apple. Love the nice, strong move on Apple. Again, that was a little bit outside of what I was expected to do today, but it was guided by what you wanted to see. I still like that. All right. Let's go to the search. Let's go YouTube. Where do I have it? No, it's under Delta Searches Industries. There we go. I've got a search in here called 10-Day Price Delta Strong Industries. Jeff says, my M1 chip in my Mac Mini is amazing, but it's made by TSM. I know, but it's still, that's where it comes from. ASML or TSMC, they still come out of China/Taiwan, but that's all right. They're still being made, but we need to bring more of that back here in the U.S., Jeff. That's absolutely correct. We need to do that. All right, so let's go take a look what's moving up over the last 20 days and increasing over the last 10 days. Let's see, 13, 16. How about this one? Machinery automation up 9.5% over the last 20 days, up 13% in the last 10 days. Let's right-click view the stocks in that industry group. And because a lot of you are not subscribers to the VectorVest software, I'm only going to bring up the top 5. Let's go see what's in here. There's only 4 in here. What's moving? SYM. Moving 2.29%. Holosys up 1%. Out of the 4 stocks, 3 of the 4 are going up. I like this space, machinery automation. It's number 2 as far as industries. How about that? But again, followed up from a level of going higher. I like that it was only 9.45% over the last 20 days. Nice move up. How about stay away from telecom fiber optics? Up 25% over the last 20 days, only 11% now. Let's go see what else is in the list. Petroleum, there it is. Not by a lot in a difference. Up 8.5% over the last 20 days, up about 11% in the last 10 days. It's on the rise. Ooh, look at this. Electrical connectors, only up 2% in the last 20 days, but now up 9% in the last 10 days. Let's go check those stocks out. I love this. I am late today, Glenn. Did you discuss CCRN? I did not. It didn't catch my attention. How about SITM up 4.92%, MEI up 1.53. There's only 4 stocks in that industry as well. All right, so I love this. If you're a subscriber, you can pull this up at any time. If you're not a subscriber, you can take a trial, $9.90, 99 cents. 99 cents for 30 days. All right, I love this. How about cryptos on the move? How about crypto's on the move up? It was still up a lot in the last 20 days and even up a lot more over the last 10 days. Let's view the stocks in that group. That's going to be Amara, Hut, a lot of stocks like that. I'm not giving you all that, I'm giving you some of these stocks. But Riot, Hut, Mara, all up a lot. Good gravy. Now, keep in mind, we track 221, or actually 222 industries. It's the last industry. But now, by way of doing this delta, I can see that it's on the move. I can, so do I take some of my money and jump into this stuff? I can. But look at that, up double digits over the last 20 days and up even more. Financial crypto stocks, so keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes on that. Last week, you talked about the swing trades in the semiconductors, SIMO, TSM, blah, blah, blah. I've been watching them, and they're all rising. Do you think that now is the time to get in? As I just explained to you, I like the chip stocks. I showed you 4 of them on the graph. I showed you 4. I like them all with Apple leading the way. But SIMO, 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 TSM, TSM, what was the other one? MCHP, CCRM. Let's go take a look at these real quick. Put these on that 6-month graph again. All right, these are more semiconductors, 6 month. Hold on. There we go, 6 month. Again, all beaten up. Wow, 6 month. Look at CCRM today. All right, that's not even, all right, but these are swing trade stocks that I gave you. CCRM, wow, look at that. And again, look at these moves. Look at these most recent moves. Semiconductor. The whole semiconductor space is looking like this. All right, the whole semiconductor space. I'm telling you to keep your eyes. So I don't think that you're not. I still think that it's okay to invest in them. Shay says Apple and NVIDIA. We took a look at those. And Danny says interest rates going up. Be careful. I'm thinking right now, Danny, that with the interest rates going up for a lot of the market, a lot of that is priced in. But we'll keep our eyes on that. All right, let's go see where the money is going today. Industries, I got ETFs from all aspects of investing. Where's the money going today? Money's going into copper, FCX. Look at that. Copper's on the rise today. Gas, oil. This is where the money is going. Energy, miners. So miners are moving today. Let's go take a look at GDX. I'm still not a fan of gold just quite yet, but let's go look at this on a 3-month graph. There it is. I'm still not feeling gold. Up day to day, but not by a lot. All right. Yeah, it made the list. It's moving up today, but look at that. That's not a whole lot to make me feel warm and fuzzy about. All right, that really isn't. So I'm still not a fan of miners just quite yet. If you are a VectorVest subscriber, every Monday in the Daily Color Guard, we talk about oil. How do you figure out in the VectorVest where the money is going? So Ravi, I've made a watch list of indexes to include basic materials, gold, energy, oil, gas. I built this watch list for you guys. The financials, golds, consumer staples, real estate, healthcare, utilities. That's how I'm figuring out where the money is going today. All right, so I've got ETFs or I've got indexes that cover the broad spectrum of investing across everything, and that's how I'm figuring out where the money is going, Ravi. TSM is building a big foundry in the USA. Yes, they are, and it's in Nevada. That's where my kid who works now for ASML, a tight collaboration with Taiwan Semi. It's in Nevada. He's still in training right now, and I think next month he goes to Taiwan for a couple of months. All right, so yes, big factory is being built, almost done in Nevada, and that's where he now resides because of that with ASML is in Nevada. All right, so what else? Speculative plays. How many of you take advantage of the speculative plays? Let's talk about my speculative plays from last week. Here's the stocks that I gave you. All right, let's go San Juan Basin. I just jumped back into San Juan Basin today. Let's go back to last week. And let's go see what these did. These were my speculative plays for you for last week. Let's quick test these. What did they do? Look at that, 4%. How about out of 8 stocks that I gave you last week, 7 out of the 8 went up, folks. AEHR went up nicely. SJT, look at that, 1 week. Rave, only 1 stock went down and went down double digits, but overall, Bahamas, here we come. Yeah, I got to take a look at that. Uranium is overlooked, Glenn? No. I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. I'm not ready to talk to you about that, but uranium, I'm not after I did that stinking video, uranium got its butt kicked. All right, so here's my stocks. Here's my speculative plays for you this week. There's 9 of them. We're going to take a look at the top 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 that are moving up today. So I like these as speculative plays. Remember, these are short-term plays, folks. These are short-term plays, speculative plays. Normally, I get these off of some sort of technical analysis. If I'm looking at this SNCR, nice move at session highs today. Even though this stock made my list, I'm not feeling the volume on this. Tor made its money this morning, gapped up, fell. I'd like to see it take out the high. Coors did well up until recently this morning, where it started pulling back. Bullish percentage on GDX is down in the 10 area. This is going to bounce at some point. Yeah, it is. It is going to bounce, but when? Now, I still think that, nothing can go down forever, and that includes oil. That includes gold. Nothing can go down forever, but there's no correlation pushing gold higher. There's no correlation pushing gold higher at this point. So, all right, so those are my speculative plays. Here's my 9 stocks. We looked at the top 4. Today's big movers, let's go peep that out real quick. These are stocks that got to be greater than $2, but up in excess of 10%. Wow. Let's go see why this stock is up 64%. View the stock news. Let's go see why that stock is up today. No news. No news is good news from Gary Good News. Intelligent Living Application Group announces closing $20.24 million initial public offering. Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is? All right. And so let's go look at the top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the big movers today. We already know about Mara, so I'm going to take that one off. I'm going to take that one off and bring on SOS. Let's go take a look at these 4. View the stock graph. Let's bring up the quad thingy. So big movers today. Are any of these worth you getting into? Wow, look at SKYX. Wow, look at that move sitting right at the high today, trading at 464. I like it. 5 cents higher than the high. 5 cents higher than the high. Glenn, if up is going down, that will bring up the price of gold. You know something? That correlation between the dollar and gold hasn't been in play for the longest time. The dollar, I still think, is going up. And if it, have you seen gold go up just quite yet? And, I'll keep my eye on it. I'm still not feeling warm and fuzzy about gold. Looking at these stocks that are up movers today, what still has upside potential today is SKYX. Let's go do this. I'm going to minimize that. And let's go to the graphs. And let's go, give me a gold ETF. Let's go look at Nugget, NUGT. Give me another. I need 3 more gold ETFs. Don't forget to talk about, are we at a bottom? I will. Give me 3 more. I need 3 more. I need GLD, GDX, comma, and GDXJ, JNUG. I'll take JNUG. All right, let's go peep these out. Put these on a 4 graph thingy. And let's do one other thing. Let's go put these all on a 6-month. All right, so we all know that gold is getting beat up. Are we ready? Are we ready to be bullish on gold? Notice that my 3 and 8s haven't crossed yet on any of them. They haven't crossed yet on any of them. So if I'm going to start to think about being bullish on gold on a 6-month graph or a 3-month graph, whatever it is, let's look for the 3-8 first. After that, let's look to see if it breaks through the downtrend. So you're right, saying that if the dollar is up, then gold is going to start going up. It hasn't happened yet. It just hasn't happened yet. And my first inclination is going to be looking at the 3 and the 8. All right. What else do I have? weekly customer picks. Nope. We're going to end right about here. Oh, nope. I got one other thing. My personal day trade picks for you. I got a list of those. I got 5 of them. Again, stocks that I've looked at. I got a lot of these from the Derby. If you're not a Derby subscriber, I'm not going to talk much about it. But I got these from the Derby this morning. Let's go see if any of these from a day trade pick still have some upside for you today before we go. SOS, beautiful move up this morning. The 3-8 cross. Let's go see if it can level and find a level of a support. Cores we looked at. GPRK. It was moving up. Let's go see if it can retain and go back up. IPI I'm not a fan of just quite yet from a day trade perspective. So let's talk about, are we at a market bottom yet, right? Nice up day in the market today. Let's go bring up the market timing graph before we go. Bring up the market timing graph before we go. Put this on a 3-month graph. Are we at a bottom? So what I do like, tell you what I do like. Coming off this hammer here, let's go put on the date line. Coming off this hammer here, not an ideal hammer, but where was our MTI at 0.60, buy to sell ratio 0.1. I do like that we're moving up. The 3 and the 8 just cross. I've got 2 things that I'm looking at, though. Do I think that this is a market bottom? Not quite yet. I do like, we did dip below a little bit of the higher lows. So where does that put us? That puts us back into a wedge. All right. I've got a level. Let me see this gap right here. That's perfect. I got a level of a gap down that I need to clear. So I like the bounce today. I like that our indicators are telling us that we're looking for a bottom. Let's go see if we can break out of this level of support, level of resistance from the gap that happened here. All right, once that can happen, we're still in a consolidation, but we've got a nice little level to get up to resistance to make some money. Does that answer your question in regards to, are we at a bottom? All right, does that answer your question? I do like that we're getting back into that uptrend, but I've got a level of a gap that happened here that I need to clear. If we clear that, we've got some upside. If we don't, we got more downside. All right, send my hands in the way. Sorry about that. All right, there's the uptrend. Nice up day today, but let's see if we can break through this level of the gap that happened back here. Break above that, then we're in consolidation. All right, Joey, put me back on my end screen. That's it. All right, it seems like this is the amount of time that you guys will stay here. So I wanted to get everything in here before you guys decide to book out. All right, so we covered a lot of material, though. We did cover a lot of material. I like you guys' insight as well. How do you think interest rate hike will affect the market? I think that the market still is going to have some more downside while inflation is rising. I think inflation is going to have more of a feel, more of an effect on the market. I think we already know that the Fed is going to raise interest rates. So I think that that's baked in. I think that if they do go to that 1 basis point, which I think they need to do, the market will lose its freaking mind. All right. So, all right. I got a joke for you today. I got a joke before we leave. What's Bruce Lee's favorite drink? Type it in the room before you go. All right. So I'm going to end on a joke today. What's Bruce Lee's favorite drink? All right. Somebody. I just want to hear something. I just want to hear somebody type in something. All right. Nobody typed in nothing? All right, here you go. Bruce Lee's. No, not Kung Fu Punch, not Pepsi, not raw egg. Nope. So, Bruce Lee's favorite drink is water. With that, folks, adios, arrivederci. Adios, arrivederci. All that stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. I think I want to end it just like that. Thank you guys for being here. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha, bon dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu, and all that. See you the next time. See ya.